one of the leaders in the digital healthcare system is Laurent, our next guest, who is from France and recently was leading the strategy efforts at Sanofi. And really happy to have him on the program here today. Laurent, welcome aboard. And first of all, tell us where you are and then give us a little bit about your journey and your background.
Yes, hello, Stan. Thanks a lot for having me again today. So giving a bit of my background, 25 years in healthcare, as you can see there, BCG, Abbott, and Sanofi. Two things relevant to the session. First is I've been traveling quite a lot around the world, living actually in Asia, living in the US, in Europe, of course, but also had the chance to spend quite a lot of time in Africa, where we'll talk about it, that there is a lot also of digital innovation. Lastly, last 3 years, I've been Chief Strategy Officer in Sanofi, leading actually transformation of the pipeline, but also working a lot on digital. And that's probably what led me to decide to move to the digital health space, become an investor since the beginning of this year, focusing on Europe, where actually there is a big need for expertise, but also for investment. So I decided to basically put my experience at help for entrepreneurs there. So that's the start of a new journey.
Good for you. That's really good to see. And that's a tremendous background to bring into the ecosystem. And again, for anyone who's interested in connecting with Laurent, please do. His LinkedIn is there, and you can certainly link in with him there. To start us off, though, let's talk a little bit about really the European digital health ecosystem. And can you give us an idea of some of the, or at least one, digital health technology that you've seen in Europe that's the most striking and the most impactful that you've seen over the last few years?
Yeah, I'll actually mention two that really struck me in the last few years, but also the last few months. I spent a lot more time on it. First one is the saliva diagnostic device that we start seeing that are actually replacing the blood-based diagnostic. And here, maybe you can check two companies. One is Ziwig, Z-I-W-I-G. The other one is Lura Health. And both of them have devised one Ziwig that will diagnose endometriosis a lot earlier, a lot more precisely. And the other one, Lura, they are working on a chip that you would put on the tooth that could actually on a regular basis with Bluetooth connection do a number of diagnostic based on your saliva, which is revolutionary. Ziwig already approved. Lura is more at the testing stage, but quite revolutionary. The other one that I found quite addressing an unmet need or an issue in healthcare is all the VR pain management device, which are actually managing pain and will actually replace a lot of the painkiller anesthetic product. They are for the moment being used in acute care at the hospital for oncology, surgery, and others, but could soon expand to replace also chronic pain management. So these ones are really addressing a need, patient need that could revolutionize healthcare and actually replace some of the either pharma product or existing technology.
That's brilliant. And so that's one of the things that you bring to the table that's so interesting is this this understanding, this deeper understanding of what's going on globally. And so along those lines, obviously, where everyone's paying very close attention to what's happening with these natural language processing algorithms and ChatGPT like tools that are out there. Where do you see on the other side of the fence the digital medical devices playing a role in digital transformation over the next 5 years?
Look, I see a very huge impact. Maybe giving a few figures. When you think about digital health, there is about 15,000 companies identified. There's probably a lot more because nobody has done a full list. 15,000. There is about 25% in Europe. The majority is still in US, and then the rest, China, Africa, and of course India. That's the big space. If you take the medical device, it's a significant share of these. It's going to actually impact the research in big pharma or medtech, either AI research or the clinical trial, it's also going to impact everything in acute and chronic care. And as I said, it's either going to help healthcare professionals do their job so that the human time is spent for face-to-face interaction, or it is, going to, enable us to basically replace current devices.
That's phenomenal. And staying along that theme of looking at medical devices and their role in digital transformation, when you think about the global markets and you're looking at some of these digital medical devices, how do you think they're going to change healthcare delivery and kind of really impact patients' lives at the ground level?
Different ways. So first, if I talk about the care delivery, let's talk about this. It's the most maybe relevant, or the one people maybe talk a bit less about. If you talk about acute care, which I refer to hospital or physician practice, for the moment, the quality of care is basically decreasing for many because of the lack of healthcare professional in terms of numbers, because of the share of time that healthcare professionals spend on administrative tasks and non-human interaction. You have actually a number of companies who are, optimizing the care prevention, the care alarm, so that it calls the specialist, it calls the nurse only when it is needed. I'll give an example of a company called Ward, WARD, 24/7. The concept that they have is actually that they are managing with AI the different alarm, sensor, and beeps in wards in hospital. And instead of having 5 beeps per patient that can beep, and then the issue for the nurse is to choose who to go to, which basically means they are wrong most of the time, and they may miss a life emergency. These actually AI-enabled device will actually pick the 1 or 2 that are life emergency, and the nurse will get less stress because she will know, or he will know, who to go to. 2, there will be better time and efficacy taking care of the patient. And 3, it means that you will have less patient going to ICU, better recovery, and at the end, probably also less cost, as the patient will be able to go out of the hospital faster.
That's fascinating. And that's really where you see these things happening in a major way, when you start seeing that kind of value creation happening at that level. And so last question, I know you need to run too, but the idea is that we're seeing a lot of startups around Europe that are having fairly significant impact. Which ones in Europe are you seeing make an impact across a few nations? Since obviously European digital health is focused in France or in UK or Germany, Spain, Italy, wherever it might be. What are you seeing? 1 or 2 platforms really transcend across all the European Union?
Yeah, maybe two key points there is device will impact, as I said, research and clinical trial, will impact diagnostic, and will impact chronic and acute care, which is quite broad actually across healthcare spectrum. To answering specifically your question, there are companies who start being like more than just one country. If I take clinical trial, companies like Castor are actually ones that start getting scale and will be able to go beyond just one country. They will probably aggregate other players that are more like country specific because they have already gained scale. They will need to get broader. And then let's be honest, anyone to succeed in Europe will need to get a foot in the US because it's going to give them scale. It's going to give them credibility. Another one that is very clear is big player like Okin, which people may have heard of, which is really research, focused company, having done deals with Sanofi, but also some others. They will definitely have impact across Europe, and they are present on both sides of the ocean. as I said, those who will be focusing on chronic care and acute care, oncology, cardio, they will definitely grow in impact and definitely either being acquired like cardiolog by companies like Philips, they will then get impact across Europe, or they will go by themselves and gain scale.
That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And again, Laurent, thank you so much for joining. We know how busy you are and greatly appreciate your time today, and certainly looking forward to seeing you at the Digital Health Week in New York City, the HITLAB Summit, of course, June 27, 2029. We'll be talking to you again then and hearing more of your insights on where digital health is going and what's happening, not just in the US, but around the world. So thank you again. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you, Stan. And as you said, anyone interested to just a quick chat or a question on what I think about any of your projects or startup ideas, feel free. It's free service for the moment, so happy to talk.
Wonderful. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.